Hello everyone, this is Christopher Bro, and today I'm here to show you my passion project that I've been working on for the past little while. The Wonders of the Ancient World. Now, I'm not building every single one, because two of them are organic statues, and giant ones at that, and statues in Minecraft are notoriously difficult. So I'm just not going to put myself through that pain. So I've taken on 5 of the 7: the Great Pyramids of Giza, the Lighthouse of Alexandria, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Temple of Artemis, and the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Hope I said that correctly. Anyways, I'll be walking you through what I've been doing with these and how far I am with them. I'm done with most of the major details of these 5, and I will be also sharing some interesting details that I found about each one that I didn't know about, and the artwork and pictures that I'm using as inspiration for these. Also, side note, all these will be built as close to scale as possible, with as much of the original detail, the documented details, as I also can possibly fit into them. These pyramids, accurate to scale. So, I hope you'll have a great time with this and enjoy. Okay, so here I have the 3 pyramids of Giza from biggest to smallest. Here we have the Pyramid of Khufu, the Pyramid of Khafre, and way over here, I'm flying too slow, is the Pyramid of Menkaure. The Pyramid of Menkaure is like an eighth the size. So, yeah, pretty tiny compared to the rest. Now, you'll notice that the Pyramid of Khufu is the only pyramid that actually ever had a gold capstone. The rest of them, just limestone tips. And the Great Pyramid stands out from the other two is it's the only pyramid to have a complex internal structure. The other two had subterranean chambers. That was it. Literally a solid mountain of stone. This one actually had a complex internal chamber layout, of which I have not built yet, but I plan to. But that would probably be very last minute kind of a thing. All 3 pyramids were built out of limestone and sandstone, with occasional granite details like chamber linings and whatnot, but for the most part, solid sandstone. Uh, like 2.3 million bricks in Khufu's pyramid alone. What other details do I have? I have um the Great Pyramid of Khufu is 230 meters square and 146 meters tall. Khafre is 215 by 215 by 136 meters tall. And Menkaure is 108 by 108 by 65.5. Whew. So yeah, uh, Menkaure's pyramid is like a third the height. And I plan to actually place these in desert-like terrain, but in this world, I'm just building the structures. I don't have time for terrain right now. On to the next one, which should be... I'm going to tour these in the order that I built them. So I built these first because they're pyramids, easy. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Ooh, lag. Ignore that. And that. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. We don't know much about them. There's not really any remains of a Hanging Gardens of Babylon, although there are several accounts of there being one. So this is really an artist rendition that I just rebuilt in Minecraft. In the top, it's almost all me. All of this. This is based off of a reference photo, which I'll probably show on screen right about now. Um, and it's just this corner, and I just literally copied and pasted the corner around it. But I'm quite pleased with this result. This feels like something that the Babylonians would have actually built. Now, it is missing all its greenery, but you can see there's plenty of room for greenery. And I would like to have water cascading from preferably this down all the sides that would water the gardens, presumably. And the concept image also had a bit of a canal running around it. Details for the future. I'm really pleased by this. I'm not exactly sure if it had an internal chamber or not. I just built this kind of proof of concept kind of a thing. Turn up the brightness. There we go. I'm not exactly sure how it would have looked. I don't even know if there was one, but I thought it'd be cool. Anyways, mostly built out of mud brick, maybe even a bit more, maybe normal brick, covered in elaborate murals, and of course, blue glazed bricks, as was the Babylonian style. This was really tricky to get right, but I eventually did. And I must say, looking very snazzy. Yeah. The real challenge is going to be covering this in greenery. Not gonna lie. That was just me experimenting with stuff. Ignore that. On to the next one. It would be the Lighthouse of Alexandria. Now, another Egypt structure. Egypt's pretty well known for its monolithic structures. Anyways, Lighthouse of Alexandria, mostly built out of sandstone. As a lighthouse, a bonfire with a big bronze mirror. Not much more complicated than that. Could be rotated, I presume, but we don't really know for sure, as the structure no longer exists, but there are dozens, if not hundreds, of blocks of stone still sitting out in Alexandria Harbor. So measurements for the building are fairly accurate today. We know it was roughly 30 by 30 meters at the base, not counting this wall. It was built on a huge artificial pier out into the harbor. It was made of 3 different sections: a square section, an octangular section, and a circular section with a dome on top. The rest of the details kind of took a little creative liberty with this, red decorations and whatnot. I used another concept image for this artist rendition of it. I'll probably show that on screen as well. But I'm quite pleased with this as well. This has come out wonderfully. Bit of a courtyard. This, for the size of the building it actually had several internal floors. Now, the layout of the floors, I also took creative liberties, but it was said in many accounts that it had one winding staircase, ramp, more like it, on the inside, and it had about 4 to 5 floors just in the square alone. The rest were probably too small, but hey, I put ramps and a floor in each just so that it wouldn't be empty. I'm stuck. Okay, fine. Let's go. But yes, this is probably my favorite out of all of them. Even the Hanging Gardens of Babylon don't top this. This one also probably took me the longest. Probably took me a week working to get just this many details. It is a highly detailed build. I spent a lot of time putting in all these fine little details. This was hard. Really hard to get proportions right because we do have some measurements, but others are just non-existent. So I had to kind of guesstimate on this. Anyways, let's see. I Yes, the Temple of Artemis I built next. Now this one's not done. It's very clearly missing its pediment and roof, but yeah, Temple of Artemis uh doesn't exist anymore. Sadly, the only thing that exists on the site is a mismatched column built out of several pieces of columns, and that is all that remains. The only thing you can see is a giant square where it used to sit. Anyways, this is the largest Greek temple ever built. Let me pull up the details on this one because I don't remember them by heart. The Lighthouse of Alexandria? No. Temple of Artemis. It was built in a marshy climate, so it tended to sink quite a bit. There were 3 successive versions of the temple, each of them destroyed, but the biggest was 137 meters by 69 meters. It was 18 meters tall and had 127 columns. It is the biggest Greek temple ever built. It is 3 times the size of the Parthenon, just for scale. So, if you've seen pictures of the Parthenon, you know how big it was. This dwarfed it. It was completely destroyed sometime in the 3rd century, I believe. And the only remaining piece is 1 column. But yes, this I actually did a bunch of studying to figure out how Greek temples were originally built. Built on like successive rings of supporting beams with often beautiful tile work. Built across or sometimes underneath wooden supports in the roof, which is why many Greek temples nowadays don't often have roofs. They've literally rotted away and collapsed, but they would have beautiful tiling, ornamentation on the inside, a giant frieze along the inside, which was usually just an unbroken sculpture of well, in the Parthenon, it was a Athenian procession to the Parthenon that happened every 4 years. The large triangles on the ends of every temple are called pediment, and they usually have an elaborate scene sculpted into it. But yes, this one's currently missing its roof. I have not had the time. Now, the Temple of Artemis is a special temple in that its central room, it was actually open to the air, so it just cut right through the roof. It also had 2 floors with stairs leading up to galleries on either side. Its central room was also built down into the ground of where it stood, which did not help with its sinking issue. There was a 16-meter tall wooden statue of the god Artemis that used to sit in the temple. It too was also destroyed. It being wood, it probably rotted away. There was a large treasury where offerings to the god Artemis would be placed. And as is common in Greek temples, it's often indistinguishable which end is the front or the back. And I'm not really sure why. I probably read a reason why, but I've probably forgotten it. Anyways, about that thing I said, forget about. I built that. I built this, not realizing I built this off of a blueprint for the god, the Temple of Diana, not the Temple of Artemis. Wikipedia, fix your webpage. But same principle. Central room, not open to the sky. Side hallways with a back and a front kind of foyer. Also supposedly 2 stories in this one. Goodness, I'm flying too fast now. There we go. Double rows of pillars on all sides, both temples, clay roofs, or terracotta, I guess, roofs. But most Greek temples have traits like that, usually a row of columns, tile roofs with pediments, indistinguishable front and backs. But yeah, here's some test columns I'm working on. Anyways, I'm excited to see where I continue to go with this. I'm not stopping at the 5 wonders of the ancient world. When I finish these, I'm going to continue. I have at least 10 other ancient structures planned. The Parthenon of Athens, the Great Wall of China, the Colosseum in Rome, Chichen Itza, several Aztec pyramids as well. Lots of different things. So if you have any suggestions for what I could build, please put it down where I can read it in the comments wherever this video will be. And I thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.